this is the Roaring Radio. I'm Shirley, and let's get right into our first topic, which is the Red Scare.
Hi, I'm Mary Jones, and our first story tonight is the Red Scare. The Pomo raids are underway. Police have been arresting thousands of people for being radical or for simply being immigrants, for fear of the spread of communism in the USA. Today we have Alexandra Klemenskaya with us. Her house was turned inside out without her consent, and she tells us today how she survived the trial. Hello, Ms. Klemenskaya, can you hear me?
Hello, Mary. I can. How are you?
Well. So today I was wondering if you'd share your experience with us.
I came home from work to find my door open. I went in and there were papers on the floor, mattresses against the wall, and broken frames. As soon as I began cleaning, the police popped out and arrested me. They used any small detail as evidence in the trial. Like if my husband had a red handkerchief, I praised Joseph Stalin. Like for Pete's sake, I came to the U.S. fleeing from Stalin's persecution. Why would I be a spy? Somehow, the jury noticed I was innocent, and I thank them for not separating my family.
That's dreadful. How have you carried on with your daily activities, carrying this fear with you?
I've overcome this and now advocate for our First Amendment rights. Along with 2,000 followers, we protested in front of the police department.
Thank you for speaking to us about your experience today. And now let's go check out the inauguration of President Hoover with Dorothy Bates.
I am here in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration of President Herbert Hoover. His laissez-faire approach to big business and his belief in rugged individualism have won him the race. Although we do not know much about Hoover yet, we do know that his approach to the economy is very close to former President Calvin Coolidge. The economy boomed when he was in office, as he had a huge respect for businessmen, and the laissez-faire tactic really paid off during his time as president. Although Silent Cal didn't do much, people still believe he was a good president, and will probably believe that for some time to come. Calvin Coolidge did have some great shoes to fill, however, as the great Warren Harding came to presidency before him. Harding also followed laissez-faire, and he reduced taxes to give business money to grow and to put money into the pockets of normal Americans. His return to normal policy and Fordney-McCumber Tariff Act also played a large role in him supporting America. So congratulations, Mr. Hoover, the third Republican president this decade. I hope the American public has a good 4 years under you. Back to you, Shirley.
We'll be back in 5. Stay tuned, Roaring Radio.
The new fabric of the time, the latest. Short hair, shorter dresses, hats, makeup, high heels, and freedom. It is a unique style that you cannot miss out on. New colors, new fabric, new texture, never before seen. Even in dresses, coats, and jackets, purses, and necklaces for every type of woman. Don't miss out on this new trend. Go now and buy your dress at Macy's.
Our next topic for today is how the role of woman has changed. Because of our changing society, the overall role of woman is progressing, and this has made it possible for women's contribution to shape our country. The new women of our society are more liberal, wearing dresses with shorter hemlines and putting on more makeup. Women now are also generally the same political and social rights as men. With these rejections of Victorian morality and more liberal thoughts, women have had the revolution in man morals. The symbol of the revolution where the flapper is. We are going to interview a flapper and ask her some questions. Here she is! Okay, we're here with Beth Wheels, a flapper feminist supporter. Can you tell us a little about what the flappers are?
Hello. Well, a flapper is typically a young woman with short skirts and roost.
And we also cut our hair as a bob.
And what is the message you want to get out?
The idea that we want to control our lives and we want to have the same rights as men. Since the 19th Amendment was passed, we have been looking for ways to use this right to make an impact. Some women have already done this, like Nellie Ross of Wyoming and Marianne Ferguson of Texas, who have become the first women to have ever have been in office for an elected state governor. And we just want to make awareness more for women.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Beth, and I hope women are treated equally sometime in the future. Now let's talk about the Scopes trial, otherwise known as the monkey trial. Okay, So many of you know, a few weeks ago, John Scopes was arrested in Dayton, Tennessee for illegally teaching evolution in biology class. And according to the Butler Act passed in Tennessee a few years ago, the teachers in Tennessee were not allowed to teach evolution in class due to the strict biblical views of many in Tennessee. And now the trial is going on this week, as many of you know. Clarence Darrow is going to be Scopes' attorney, and William Jennings Bryan is going to be prosecuting him. So we're going to see how this goes within the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned.
Today I'm going to be talking about organized crime and prohibition. Prohibition has been a concern since the early 1800s, and temperance reformers have grown significantly since then. World War I has significantly jump-started the 18th Amendment. On January 16, 1919, the 18th Amendment was ratified largely due to rural votes. Manufacture, distribution, and sale of alcohol was banned in the United States. Dries claim that this will be a noble experience and that families will be strengthened due to a drop in alcoholics in the country. I don't think this will help. I think crime rates will greatly increase and the illegal importation of alcohol is prevalent. People that enjoy drinking will find a way to continue this habit. Smuggling will become a huge problem and secret bars will pop up, also known as speakeasies. Depending on how much people follow this new law, police might not be able to control this influx in organized crime, and the well-known Al Capone will most definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Stay tuned. These next couple years could get interesting.
Now let's talk about automobiles and how they're changing our lives every day that passes. Okay, so Ford and his new assembly line, it's just crazy. Cars are being produced so much every day. There are nearly 23 million drivers on the road now, which is triple the amount only just a few years ago. Road construction is also expanding as more cars are being manufactured, and more road stop diners are being made. The on-the-road cuisine is so good. I hear Ford is paying his workers $5 an hour. I only make $2 an hour. That's so good. Okay. Also, motels are popping up a lot over the roads due to people traveling long distances. Also, rural dwellers are shopping in cities now, and there are so many traffic jams. It's so annoying.
Now, on with our next topic, entertainment and music. With our growing cities and money in our pockets, leisure time has almost doubled. Because of this, the music and entertainment industry is at its prime. One of these forms of entertainment is motion pictures. Even though this wasn't really popular some years back, its popularity has increased tremendously. A lot of Hollywood studios have started producing, distributing, and displaying these motion pictures all over the country. Like theatrical production, motion picture is available to every average American or anyone with a few cents to spare. At this time, we're going to interview Mae McAvoy, an actress from one of the most popular motion pictures, The Jazz Singer. We are here with Mae McAvoy, actress in one of the most famous motion pictures, with sound synchronized in the action, The Jazz Singer. Hello, Miss McAvoy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Good. Tell us a little about The Jazz Singer.
So, well, as you said, this motion picture is very special because it's one of the first where there's audio and you can hear the actor's dialogue.
And what do you think about the music choice and how popular has it become?
I feel that jazz was an amazing choice. It represents well our society. Now we have phonograph, which allows us to hear music whenever we want. It is a big factor in our society today, and it is why music and other industries are being so appealing to people.
All right, thanks, Miss McAvoy, for speaking to us today.
I'm here at the Cotton Club, a popular New York City nightclub located in Harlem. Although this establishment is currently whites only, many of members of the African American community were born here in Harlem. Although this cultural, social, and artistic explosion began in about 1918, the movement is expected to continue through the decade. Some of the popular figures related to drama include Zora Neale Hurston, author of the play Colorstruck, actor Charles Giplin, and Langston Hughes, whose production of Mulatto is now showing on Broadway. Also, some musicians you may be watching nowadays in the movement include Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Marian Anderson, and Bessie Smith. You can hear these influential voices at venues such as
the Apollo Theater, the Lafayette Theater, the Lenox Lounge, and of course, the historic Cotton Club. If you're looking to slow down and listen to some poetry, look for speakeasies, hosting poets such as Claude McKay, Gladys May Casely Hayford, and of course, the extremely influential Langston Hughes. This literary and artistic movement is a new era of not only ethnic pride, but racial consciousness as well. This social explosion is changing the way we Americans, as well as many others around the world, will view African Americans and their way of life for a long, long time. Live from the Cotton Club, this is Dorothy. Back to you, Shirley.
Now let's switch to Beth Smith, who's interviewing Helen Wheels.
This generation has been known for its rising sports and bringing joy to the families of America after World War I. Baseball, football, and tennis, among other sports, have risen during this decade. Here we are with Helen Wells. Helen has won 10 Grand Slams in both singles and doubles. She has also won 2 Olympic medals. So, what is this feeling like?
It is truly amazing. It has been a dream of mine since I was little. So for it to come true, it is my dream.
Well, you are preparing for the U.S. Open, which is the first time you have been playing since you retired from the French Open because you had an emergency
Appendectomy.
Yes, and how do you feel now, and how are you preparing for it?
I feel good. I've been preparing really hard for it. My coaches have been on my back since I was able to come back to court, so I feel prepared for it.
That's good. The first time you won the tournament, you were 17 years old. And what is the feeling like when you're a teenager and you win the Grand Slam for the first time?
It is crazy and also a dream, but it's like a chaos. Because like while all my friends were going to parties, I was like studying and training really hard, and at least it paid off at the end.
You recently became the first ranked female tennis player in the world, becoming the first American woman athlete to become a global celebrity. You also been called arguably the most dominant tennis player, very concentrated in the court and rarely showing any emotions. How do you manage being the #1 celebrity and still be very grounded and focused on this sport?
Well, yeah, it was an honor that #1 now in the world. But it has definitely become a struggle, but I have pulled through, and just as long as you keep your mind onto it and you surround yourself with people that support you and love you, then it's not hard. It will be easy for you.
Well, thank you very much, Helen. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you the best in the U.S. Open.
Thank you.
And that's it for this edition of the Roaring Radio. Come back tomorrow and get the latest update on your favorite stories.